All right, hey, this is the second part of 3-view drawing. So we're going to come in and we're going to draw the letter H. And this sample here is 3D, but what we're going to do is come in and show you how to draw it 3-view or multi-view. So I have my paper, I have my border, I have my nameplate, I have my Lucky L, and we're ready to rock and roll. So we're going to start by doing the same thing we did last time. We're going to draw the H just like we did last time. And I'm going to come over here, I'm going to measure out 1 inch, 2 inch, and 3 inch. And that's kind of a weird way to do this, but I'll show you why I do it in a second. And then I'm going to come up here, I'm going to measure out 5 inches, 2 inches, and 3 inches. And so this way I can really quickly come in and draw my H. And I'm going to do real light lines. I know you're looking at it going, that's not an H, Mr. Hager, but watch this. I'm going to put a line here, I'm going to put a line there, a line here, and again a line here, and a line here. And just like that, I have drawn the front of my H. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and come in here and erase all these tails, all these extra lines that I don't need. But see how quickly I can generate that H doing it that way? All right, so this is my H, and that is the front of my H. I'm going to write on the front of there, front. Now, I don't need to write that on there when I turn it in, but it might help you to better understand what we're doing. So that is my H. If I'm going to walk straight at the H and look at it directly, that's what it should look like. Let me see if I can get just like that. And that's what you're seeing. So now the next thing we're going to do is right up above the H, we're going to come up here and draw what we'd see if we look straight down. And you remember from my last video, we said we're going to leave a 1/2 inch space between the views. So I'm going to go up a 1/2 inch. And boy, this one's going to be really tight for space. I'm going to come up there, and I know that my H is 3/4 of an inch thick, and I know that because I can physically measure it, but I also know it from the last draft I did that 3/4 is the thickness. So I'm going to come in here and put the thickness in, and then take my triangle, and see this line here? This line actually continues to right there, and this line translates to right there, and this line, and notice what I'm doing is I'm darkening up those lines. So I'm converting them from construction lines down here to visible lines. And voila, that's my top view. That's what my H would look like from the very top looking straight down. So I'm going to write on that one, top. And again, you don't need to do that. This might just help you understand why I'm doing the video. So I have my front view, I have my top view. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to skip a 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to measure out 3/4 of an inch. Because again, I know that's how thick that H is. And so this thickness here and this thickness over here are always the same. So I'm going to put that line in. I'm going to put that line in. I'm going to mark the top. And again, I'm going to take this line and it translates to right there. And I'm going nice and dark. I'm converting them from construction lines to dimension lines. And then right over here where this line is that holds the two sides of the H together, I'm going to transfer that over here, but over here I'm going to use dotted lines there and here. And that's telling me something is hiding in there. And what's hiding is this little piece that's connecting the two sides. And this is what we're going to call an end view or a side view. Either one of them would be correct, okay? Next up, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to erase the parts of the Lucky L that I did not use. So that was unnecessary, so we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to get rid of this here. Get rid of some of that stuff. Hey, there we go. Okay, so we have our front, our top, and our end view. Look pretty decent. It's time to put some measurements on. The one thing I need to tell you about the measurements, we want to put the measurements on only once. Okay, we don't want to repeat measurements, and we want to make sure we only put the necessary measurements on. Sometimes kids put way too many. So let's start kind of like we did last time when we drew this 3D. I'm going to come down here at the very bottom, and I'm going to put an extension line here. That's a line that extends from our drawing. Those are my little extension lines. And then I'm going to put a dimension line between them. And notice I left a space in there. I'm going to put the dimension in there. I'm going to put the units in there. And then I'm going to put the arrowheads on each end. So that tells us that's 3 inches. And then I'm going to come in here and put a dimension on this leg. and on this leg, and that's 1 inch. And I put the arrowheads. Same thing here, arrowhead here, 1 inch, arrowhead here. And so what I've done is, because I've told you the width of this, and the thickness of that, and the thickness of that, I don't need to tell you this one, do I? Because you can mathematically solve for that one. So now let's do the height of this whole thing. And I could have put this up here, or I could have put that one up in the top view. That would have been correct as well. So now I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to tell you that from here to here is 5 inches. Okay, 5 inches. And then what I'm going to do is this height, I'm going to put that over here because that's perfectly acceptable. So I'm going to say 2 inches here, put my arrowhead here, my arrowhead here, and then I'm going to come back over here and stick a dimension over here, which is, this is 2 inches as well. So again, I have told you the whole thing is 5. I told you this leg down here is 2 inches. I told you this leg up here is 2 inches. So you can mathematically solve that that must be 1 inch. At this point, I'm missing one single measurement. And this is the one the kids always forget. I need to tell you how thick this is. And I can either put that on here, I can put it down here, or I can put it over here. I'm going to put it on my top view. So I put a mark there. I'm going to put a mark here. And this one's going to get a very short extension or dimension line, 3/4, and then an arrowhead here and a really small arrowhead there. Okay. Hey, that's how you draw the letter H. All right. See you on the next one.